What if I told you that some rooms hold memories darker than death? That some spaces collect pain like water collects dust, gathering decades of terror in their silent corners? I never believed such nonsense. Not until Room 237 transformed everything I understood about reality. I am a professional skeptic. My entire career has been built on dismantling ghost stories, exposing fraudulent mediums, and reducing supernatural legends to nothing more than psychological parlor tricks. Believers despised me, academics respected me, and I took pride in my ability to explain away the inexplicable. So when I first heard about the infamous Hotel Blackwood, I considered it the ultimate challenge. 17 documented deaths, countless unexplained vanishings, a room so steeped in historical trauma that local historians whispered about it in hushed, trembling voices. My rational mind dismissed the stories as exaggerated folklore, coincidences dressed up as hauntings. But rooms like 237 don't care what rational minds believe. They have their own hunger, their own truth, and that night, I would learn just how terrifyingly real some truths can be. The Hotel Blackwood wasn't just another forgotten landmark. It was a monument to American architectural tragedy. Constructed in 1872 by railroad magnate Edmund Blackwood, it had survived multiple owners, economic collapses, and endless rumors that clung to its walls like thick, invisible cobwebs. Historical records told a chilling story. The original structure was built on land the indigenous Pennacook people had long avoided, marking it on ancient maps with symbols of warning. Archaeological surveys uncovered inexplicable mass deaths dating back centuries before Blackwood's construction. Between 1872 and 1954, 17 confirmed deaths occurred within the hotel's walls, 12 of them in a single wing. Room 237 became the epicenter of supernatural speculation. The deaths followed a disturbing pattern. Victims found in states of extreme psychological distress, faces frozen in expressions of absolute terror. No medical explanation ever sufficed. Most paranormal researchers avoided Room 237 entirely. Some called it cursed, others an anomaly. But I saw an opportunity, a chance to prove or disprove decades of ghost stories once and for all. My challenge was simple. Spend 12 uninterrupted hours in Room 237, fully equipped with state-of-the-art recording equipment, high-resolution cameras, thermal imaging, multiple audio recorders, electromagnetic field detectors, every tool needed to capture empirical evidence. What I didn't realize was that some rooms choose their own rules of engagement. And Room 237 was about to teach me a lesson that would shatter everything I thought I knew. The hotel's current manager, Margaret Holbrook, was a distant descendant of the original owner. When I met her, her weathered hands trembled as she handed over the antique brass key. Her expression held something between fear and resignation. "Some doors," she whispered, "are better left unopened." I should have listened. If you're enjoying this chilling tale so far, why not take a second to hit that subscribe button? It really helps us grow the channel and brings you more terrifying stories like this one. And hey, there's always another haunting just around the corner. Room 237 was a relic of another time. Preserved like a time capsule from the late 1920s, the space seemed to breathe with an energy that transcended mere physical dimensions. The walls were lined with faded sage green wallpaper, its intricate willow branch patterns shifting when viewed from different angles. The maple hardwood floors creaked underfoot, each board groaning with the weight of untold memories. A massive cast-iron bed dominated the room, its brass fittings dull with age. A vintage writing desk sat near the single window, and a freestanding full-length mirror stood against the eastern wall, its reflection unnerving even in daylight. Through extensive research, I had uncovered a web of disturbing incidents tied to this room. In 1934, a traveling salesman named Harold Merrick was found dead inside, his body contorted at an impossible angle, eyes wide open but unseeing. The medical report listed cardiac arrest, but local whispers spoke of something far more sinister. Then, in 1952, a young woman named Elizabeth Carver vanished without a trace. Her suitcase remained perfectly packed, her bed undisturbed. There was no sign of struggle, no explanation. Ooms. Determined to remain methodical, I set up my equipment with surgical precision. For high-resolution cameras covering every angle, 2 infrared thermal cameras, multiple audio recorders with extended-range microphones, 3 electromagnetic field (EMF) meters, a custom-built environmental sensor array tracking temperature, humidity, and atmospheric pressure, handheld thermal imaging device, night vision equipment. The first 2 hours passed uneventfully. EMF readings fluctuated within normal ranges. Temperature remained stable. My audio recordings captured only the ambient sounds of an old building, distant traffic, the occasional creak of settling wood, the whisper of wind through aging window frames. But something felt wrong. Not in an obvious way. It was a gradual shift, like the air itself thickened around me, pressing against my skin. The sensation of being watched crept over me, slow but relentless. At 11:37 p.m., the first inexplicable event occurred. The antique mirror's reflection began to distort. Not dramatically, just subtle warping around its edges as if the glass was breathing. Expanding, contracting. My thermal camera registered a sudden drop in temperature from 68.3 to 52.1 degrees in under 17 seconds. No discernible draft. No mechanical explanation. The EMF meter nearest the mirror spiked to 12.4 milligauss, far beyond normal interference levels. I spoke into my recorder. Potential anomalous activity detected. Mirror location. Thermal and electromagnetic variations confirmed. Maintaining observational protocol. My hands trembled slightly. I hated that they trembled. Then I heard it. A whisper. Not a whisper exactly. More like the memory of a sound. A feminine voice. Fragmented. Incomplete. Help me. The words materialized in my audio recording. Crystal clear. Impossible. I replayed the recording 17 times. Each time, the chills deepened. As midnight approached, the room's temperature continued to fluctuate. My cameras kept rolling, and I, the professional skeptic, began to understand that some mysteries defy rational explanation. Something was happening in room 237, something that had been waiting, watching, gathering strength, and the night was far from over. The final moments of that night shattered every scientific principle I knew. The room itself seemed to breathe, walls expanding and contracting, the fabric of reality warping. The mirror exploded without warning, each shard reflecting impossible scenes. A woman in 1920s clothing, frozen in terror, shadows moving against natural light. My equipment malfunctioned. Cameras flickered. Audio recorders captured voices from impossible times, whispers, screams, fragmented conversations from decades past. Thermal imaging revealed human-shaped cold spots moving independently, tracing patterns no living being could make. Morning came. I was found unconscious, my equipment scattered, most of it irreparably damaged. Medical tests revealed no physical trauma, but something had changed. My memory was incomplete, fractured. Images flickered at the edges of my mind, glimpses of a story far older and deeper than I could comprehend. The Hotel Blackwood has since sealed room 237. The management denies my experience ever happened. But the recordings exist. The evidence remains. And I will never enter that room again.